Yeah,
Yes.
really.
You know, John's daughter.
We are coming up on Stormont, the Abbey.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
This is the Abbey. Oh, isn't it beautiful?
Well, this was like the house.
In the grounds of the Abbey. Yeah.
Même de beekeeper, apiculteur, oui. Pendant 15 ans. On ne peut pas tout faire. Quand c'est fait l'âge, il faut laisser.
Magnificent. He's talking about all the things he does here.
Oui, oui, ah bah oui, on ne se presse pas devant la porte.
Wow, that's a big cedar tree.
Those hydrangeas are beautiful. This garden is magnificent. And you've got them like the paintings.
This is the monks' cemetery here. There we are for the tasting. Cheeses and drinks. Lighting on the cage. We got the things in a minute. There's a sampler. Look at those Here we are. Eau de filet.
I forgot that.
first of all, I'm going to give you an explanation about the name of the place and also the history of the place. Then we will move on to watch some pictures, and then with the discovery of actual distillery, a building where it all happens and takes place. Well, first of all, so this is a farm, but the distillery didn't start here. It started in 1946, just a couple of kilometers away in the neighboring village called Biercé, and that's why here now we are in Rani. But the distillery has kept the name because our products were already well known in Belgium mainly, but they didn't want to upset all the customers and they kept the name because it was a success story from the beginning. 1946, it meant that the region looked different. Now you see very big white green fields, well, green especially now, but in springtime. But at the time there were lots of orchards, and the fruit trees that grew here were apple trees and cherry trees. And so they started with these fruit, but they didn't know how to turn the fruit into alcohol. So because one of them had a relative in Normandy who came here to pay a visit to one of his relatives, and then he told them, he showed them, he explained them how to turn the fruit into alcohol and spirits. Then there was a problem. Shortly after World War II, there was no metal left, or very little metal left in the area. It had been used in the war effort, and so they needed what is called an alembic, or a still. Not made of plastic, but made of copper. And the first one is just there behind you. In fact, what was it? It's the torpedo tube of a German submarine sunk in Marseille that was turned into an alembic in Paris. You will see that later. Okay, right? And so the cider was poured there at the top, and then they collected the alcohol there. Well, you see, there's a tap, and it's simply open. Now we proceed in a completely different way, but you will show how. This is how it all started.
Breathe in the soil. The French word for soil, terroir, must be one of the most beautiful words invented that epitomizes the spirit and the character of this sport. Not far away, two major folklore events take place every year, the Doudou de Mors and the Carnaval de Binche. So, we approach Troyes. Troyes is well known for its belfry, the Abbey of Aulne and the Château de Faustow, the Batellerie district and the Ravel network along the banks of the River Sambre. And then there's the March of Saint-Roch, with its torchlight procession with some 2,400 marchers on the third Sunday of May. However, it's above all the Biercé distillery that has really put this region on the map, both in Belgium and further afield. In 1946, Father Just and Jules van Rietboom, a pharmacist, along with a few enthusiasts, salvaged the copper from a beached German U-boat, and from it had a high-tech distilling boiler manufactured in Paris. Making the most of the numerous orchards in the region, that same year they brought the Biersac onto the market, a type of cider brandy similar to Calvados. Once it was launched, there soon followed the Noyatine, made from two types of cherries from Biercé, the Doré and the Pivot, and not long afterwards came the Biersine, a liqueur made from 7 different herbs which is still distilled and sold today, and then the company became a cooperative. In 1973, the distillery was taken over by Georges Pierre and 3 of his nephews. After a succession of surprising experiments, Georges, along with his wife Janie, brought the Eau de Vie onto the market in 1981, still one of the most popular products of the distillery. At the end of 1980, the company expanded further, installing new stills. In 1991, Philippe Dumont took over the distillery, turning it into what it is today. Right from the start, he began altering the company's image, concentrating on the packaging of the products, upgrading production tools, installing brand new stills and a storage cellar for the wooden casks. In 1996, the company celebrated its 50th anniversary. The most renowned chefs of Belgium became godfathers to 4 beautiful new stills. In 2000, the company moved to new premises at the Ferme de la Cour. It took 4 years of renovation to make this building what it is today. The finest recipes are prepared from the highest quality ingredients, which is why year after year we choose the finest fruits from the best soils of Europe. Our people are at one with nature, and they nurture the fruit at every step of its growth, trusting in careful cultivation and a strict selection of hand-picked fruits. Each year, some 300 tons of untreated fresh fruit are delivered to the company to the rhythm of the seasons. Yellow lemons from the Spanish Murcia, Williams pears from Switzerland, plums from French Lorraine, and apples from Aubel in Belgium.
It's very sweet. It's quite chilly.
I'm trying it out.
But
Well, the place is pleasant all year round, even when it rains, but of course it's much more. Close the door, but there's another visit. Just somebody, Benedict will just follow us. So I won't close the door, but it is obligatory. So very strict security reason, as you can imagine. So no smoking, no dogs. Well, you have all these reasons that are quite understandable. No flashlight. Well, even if now it's not too dangerous. But with such heavy concentration of evaporation of alcohol in the atmosphere, we have to be very strict.
This is a distillery.
And here we have the magic of the distillation process. Because it is chemistry, and things that we can't see with our naked eye. And, well, I didn't have very good chemistry until I became a guide here, and I had to understand. We measured, so it is measured here. So we know exactly the quantity, but also the percentage of alcohol. It is measured, and you see again the seals. The 2 taxmen are there, and they have all their lists and papers and so on. And this is where we pay taxes on our products, les axes. That's where we pay them. And then afterwards, the different brandy, spirits, and so on, they go there and they age. Or between. No, it's impossible. And evaporation.
Products that they make. Looks like all the beers. All the beers that they have here, some of the old signs for them. We got a whole other thing. There's a tasting area here. There's some more. It's okay. There's female is there. There it is. Yeah.